Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Friends from Work. I'm Tom, this is Sean, and on today's episode, we're going to be breaking down three things for you. First, we're going to break down the Santa Clauses, the Disney Plus original series going off the original The Santa Claus trilogy. And then we have the sequel, I guess you'd call it.
It is. It's a true sequel.
To Christmas Story Christmas. And then we're going to go over Violent Night, starring David Harbour. So we're going to go through those. And then at the end of this video, we're going to be giving our top 5 Christmas movies. So stay tuned for that. Watch the whole video. And other than that, make sure to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And links are on the screen and down below. And other than that, thank you for waiting for that little long intro there. We're going to get right into it. I want to start off with the Santa Clauses because that was a series. And I think we may have a little more pros and cons to go around. But I'll start it off. It was all right. My big complaint for it was that it was a series. I think it would have done a lot better as a movie.
But how long of a movie? Like a really long movie?
No, I think they could because I actually watched the first two the other day just because I was bored. And
because they were 25 minutes, right?
They were like 40.
No, they weren't 40.
The first few were 40. The last few were like 25 to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were like.
How could it have been a movie then?
But they're not saying they could have written it in a movie format.
And then cut out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because there was a lot of stuff.
I guess
there.
I see there. Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, it just felt like they over-explained a lot of stuff, like with the villain. What was his name?
Simon.
Yeah.
Kumar, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Kumar.
I was gonna say that. They kept like, okay, we got it. He's just some tech guy who just wants to do that. But I feel like they could have just done that. I feel like this. All my points gonna go down to this could have been better as a movie, but it felt like it was milking it out, especially with a week by week drop. Yeah. They could have all done this in a good movie, hour and a half, 2-hour movie, and I think I would have enjoyed it a lot better. And I kept just seeing as Disney, they want a Christmas cash grab, and the promotion they were putting around it, like. That I got really upset with that was Tim Allen was like, well, this answers a lot of questions of like, well, how do you become Santa, this and that, and like stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I walked in like, okay, maybe he's right. And then I watched it. I'm like, this is just another fucking Santa Claus thing. But
it did explain why he was Santa Claus, though, right?
Kind of, but
it explained that it wasn't like an act like. He always thought it was an accident. Like, he just accidentally stumbled across Santa and he fell off his roof and, like, by a stroke. But they show in the show that he had met Santa when he was a kid and, like, had left an impression on Santa. And that was they explained that Tim Allen's the first human Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And that's why they picked him, because Tim Allen was, like, a really giving child. I kind of agree in some form. I don't think it would have been better as a movie because I don't see how they could have done this all in an hour and 20 minutes.
I could see it.
I mean, yeah, they could have. They did the other ones, but I don't think it would have been better for it. I thought the beginning was kind of drawn out. I don't agree with the cash grab point because, I mean, there really isn't a cash grab to have. Like,
subscribe to go watch it.
But how would you do the same thing for a movie? Like,
yeah, but I mean,
like prolonging it isn't making them any more money. I would envision it's making them less money.
No, it's probably more because if you think about it, it's a 6-episode series. It took 6 weeks to come out, so that's 2 months subscription.
That's true, but I mean, let's say, and if you like, most people already have it.
Yeah.
Let's say for some reason you just bought it because of that, you do it for 1 month because you did the free trial. So it's like not that much of a cash grab. And everybody already has either pays for it themselves or has some kind of access to it through family or something like that. So I don't think it was a cash grab. I personally think they were it's been a long time. Yeah. So they wanted to like, in those first episodes, they brought back Charlie because he's got his son from the movies that we all knew, but he's older now.
Yeah.
But he has 2 younger kids or whatever.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I did like the Charlie thing. I felt like that's more what the first ones were. They were like reintroducing you to the family and like what they've been doing and like all some of the characters you may have remembered. They brought back a lot of old characters. Charlie, like I said.
Yeah, Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard was his character.
There was another kid. I totally forgot to write his name down, but it was that white kid with the glasses. He was an elf.
Oh yeah.
He never brought him back. I want to know why. And he's like been in a bunch of.
Well, he might just not. He might have just
declined it.
Yeah, or like had something else going on. They did bring another kid back from the original though. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't remember, but they brought him back. Like he goes and visits them or something. Like it was like It was like he went and visited. Didn't he go visit a kid who used to really believe in Santa?
Oh yeah, that was that was a girl.
A guy, a girl.
It was a girl. It was a little girl,
a
and
kid
then
that used to really.
But then it was like that. She was like another actress, but I think that I do agree they did.
So I do think, but I do think it was
lackluster.
That's it was lackluster, but I do think it was just like, all right. I think they felt like it was fan service more. Like, oh, we're gonna make sure you guys all see some people. Episode 3 I thought was really good though. That was when they kind of like. Episode 2 is he decides that he's not going to be Santa anymore. Yeah, like he finally comes up. He fails on Christmas, right?
Yeah,
doesn't he like fall off the roof and he goes back. It's like forgot what the code was. Code candy cane or
something like that.
And that was like go get his family. And he fails. So this Christmas was a wash.
Yeah,
and that's when he makes the decision that I'm not going to be Santa Claus anymore. And then he's kind of at terms peace with it. He was worried that nobody cared, but then he kind of felt good when all the elves were like sad, and then he's like he kind of even felt better that the elves were sad that he was leaving. Then that episode 3, that Peyton Manning interviewing to be Santa Claus, I thought that was hilarious.
That was so random.
I honestly think that's where they messed up. They should have did another cameo or two.
Yeah.
Maybe get like Will Ferrell,
like a mini montage,
like Will Ferrell, like not as maybe as
Buddy,
Elf, as Buddy doing it.
I think that'd been awesome.
Or I would have done that because I know Peyton Manning and Will Ferrell are friends. So I thought they should have maybe one or two, maybe not even them, but just some other
like a really mini montage.
Or like Lady Gaga or somebody like some other randos, random caring.
Because you could do anyone, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter
as themselves or.
But Peyton Manning was hilarious. I thought it was really funny. Tim Allen did a really good job too. I really liked that episode. But then, like we were talking about, they have Simon, who I don't know what his real name is, but he played Kumar in Hill and Kumar. He's like this Amazon running type of guy, and the writings on the wall that were like. He tricks Tim Allen because Tim Allen thinks he's a good guy, but in the end of the day, he's just an evil. Yeah, it was
such a predictable. plot.
I mean, again, but it is a Christmas movie, so they're supposed to be predictable. They're supposed to be for kids, so they're supposed to be kind of predictable. But like I said, that was kind of. I kind of like some of the dark undertone of it, like.
But I just felt like it was drawn out. That's why I said I think it would have been better as a movie, like because they couldn't draw it out as much as they did.
I do think they draw it out at the beginning. My biggest complaint was I thought the ending was rushed. I feel like the ending was like you said 25 minutes or something, and it was like they had a 40-minute episode to start it off. It's like and like episodes 3, 4, and 5 really start getting good. Yeah, like Bernard comes back. He meets all the other Santa Clauses, like the Peyton Manning thing, and it's like getting really good. And you're like, oh, no way they're gonna be able to close this up in 20 minutes. The finale's got to be an hour. Yeah, and it was just a quick, you know what I mean, on a bow. I'm Santa Claus again. Yeah. So I didn't like that. But again, it was just a lackluster show. Like I said, I don't know if cash grab's a word, but I don't think they had too much direction. I just think they kind of threw this together.
They did. It felt very low budget in the sense of watching it. When I was watching the CG, I was like. In my head, I'm like, they could have thrown money at this a lot more than I would anticipate. What I would assume they would do with because the third Santa Claus was okay, but like I mean, I like the first one.
The first two are classics.
And but I don't know. I mean, it was very nostalgic. I will give it that. When I was watching, like you said, the first few episodes, like it brought back a lot
Charlie
of nostalgia
again,
vibes. And they did really good with that.
Then like his kids, I would kind of didn't skip past it. I guess we're kind of getting to this point. It's like his new kids have powers.
Yeah,
I guess because when he had them, he was Santa, right? Yeah, actually Santa when he like Charlie was already a kid or whatever. So they have some kind of power.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah,
and then I don't get why Santa didn't know that like the prison was licorice. In my head, I'm like, isn't that like Angie lived there for 30 years?
But I guess he was never in the prison.
I don't know, but I feel like if you're the owner, you're like, no,
they
like,
talk to him. They never need to use it. Like,
yeah, I guess.
That was funny though. He's like, he needs to eat his way out. Like, that was funny too. They kind of did that at the beginning, where like he was trying to get fat and he couldn't. Yeah. But it was like the reverse of the old one, where he was trying to get skinny but he couldn't.
Yeah. Like I said, the first few episodes, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like I
think it was more in the middle. I think the first ones are kind of nostalgic. I think they were just kind of boring. They were really long.
Yeah.
I think those should have been 25 minutes, and then the last few should have been 40.
Yeah.
Those they kind of stayed on it a little longer than what I liked.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. I don't have too many points, and I was really just disappointed. I feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot better. I think my biggest irritation was like it was a week by week thing. If they dropped all 6 episodes, I think I would have enjoyed it a little more. But the week by week thing, I think was what brought it down for me.
They rushed the ending. You know what else I didn't like? The beginning of it, his kids and his family are like, we just want to be normal.
Yeah.
At the end, they're like, okay, cool. We're not going to do that.
Yeah,
anymore.
we're good.
Right?
Yeah,
like, okay. Like,
this is me nitpicking, but like the whole I forgot his son's name.
Cal, right? The new son? Or
Cal, is it Cal Jr.? I don't know.
Is it Cal Jr.? His name's not Cal. No, it's Scott. Santa's name is Scott, right?
Yeah.
So it's Cal. His son's Cal.
Okay.
Maybe they just call him Junior.
I don't know. So it's Calvin. Wow.
Cal. Yeah. I'm pretty sure his name's Cal. I wrote it down. Yeah, Cal and Sandra
already. But yeah, no.
Subi?
The whole like little mini love arc of him and that girl.
Oh yeah, and then like at the end, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna go." I told you my dad was Santa Claus or some shit.
It would have paid. I don't know. I just felt like that was rushed.
The ending just felt really rushed to me. Like I said, and like I said, they kind of just KO'd the arc where they're like, his family wanted to be normal. They're like, oh well, guess you want to be Santa Claus again? Oh, okay, whatever.
We're good for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with you.
But
yeah.
Being gone for 10 minutes changed all their minds.
Yeah.
So that part was kind of silly. But
so I mean, do you have any other points for this?
Not really. Yeah. It was fun. I wouldn't recommend not watching it. I definitely wouldn't watch it again. If you like Christmas stuff and you're a fan of the movie, I would just go ahead and watch it. Your kids can watch it. It's still funny and goofy. There's elves but I'd probably give it like let's say 4.5 out of 10. It could have been better. All of the previous ones were better.
Right.
So I think they did renew it for another season.
What?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Renewed for another season.
What?
So maybe next year they do better. I think maybe they saw they had some potential and they just noticed they fucked it up.
I just thought this was a Christmas thing.
No, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be next year at Christmas. They'll probably do it every year on Christmas.
That's so fucking funny. That blew my mind. I didn't even know. I didn't do any research besides my review. I would assume they weren't doing a fucking wow.
Yeah, there has been renewed, so I don't know what the arc will be. It'll probably be like him trying to train his son, maybe.
Oh yeah,
the other son.
Yeah,
he's already magic or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, I did also put 4.5. That was my same score. Yeah, that was true. I was like 4.5, 4.7, something like that. Nostalgia, they did 10 out of 10 on that. But it just it was like improper pacing, like Sean said earlier. The beginning was dragged, the ending was rushed. Like it was like all over the place. They didn't have like a proper pacing. Like it wasn't all too dragging, it wasn't all too rushed. It was but next on the list, we're gonna move down here. We have Christmas Story Christmas. I'll let Sean go off. I'll let you go first, and then kind of give your pros and cons.
This is a true sequel to the original Christmas Story. There's like 5 or 6 other sequels, but they're not all. They're done by different people with different characters.
I saw that on HBO.
I think there's more than 5. It might be like 7 or 8.
I don't know. I've never.
But this one is a literal true sequel.
Yeah.
Everyone in the cast returns except for the dad. He's dead in real life, and the mom. I read she's like 85 now, so that's why she didn't do it.
Right.
But literally every character is playing themselves as an adult.
Yeah.
They bring, like I said, the bullies back.
Yeah.
His friends are back. And that part I thought was really dope.
Yes.
I liked it. It's a more serious take on it. The original is just all lighthearted, really, for the most part. Like, there really is no, like
also back then.
Again, it was just a different frame of movies. But I do think this was an interesting take on the new. This is basically Ralphie. He's an adult living in Chicago. He's an aspiring writer. He's not doing very well. And his dad dies. His dad is actually supposed to be coming to Chicago for Christmas. His dad and his mom. Yeah. And then his mom calls and says his dad dies, and that she doesn't want Christmas to be synonymous with his father's death. So she wanted it to be the best Christmas ever, and then him and his family go back to his hometown to celebrate.
Yeah, and I do like that a lot. That they didn't recast the dad.
Yeah.
Or like try.
I think that was a really good take on it. Like I think they make it
paid homage to
be
the
a
actor.
Sequel. Like there was a reason for it to be a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought that was good. And then like I guess it flowed. You don't have to recast him. The mom, like I said, she was 85, so
right.
She really couldn't do it.
That
she
was
probably just couldn't
understandable.
act anymore.
Yeah.
I know. Oh man. I mean, I know we kind of skipped past this, and it was a point that I wanted to say in the other one.
What?
But speaking of that, in Santa Claus's, Charlie is no longer an actor. That's why he wasn't in the series more.
Oh, he's
and
not?
yeah, and I was reading somewhere that the writers wanted him to be the one to take over, but he's no longer an actor. Like,
what the fuck does he do?
he's just a person living his life.
But
I heard that he did not want to do it.
Oh.
So like, I'm assuming that's why.
That's why they had the kids and shit.
Yeah, and they kind of changed some of the storyline or something like that.
That makes sense.
So maybe that's what it was. But I'm sorry, we kind of skipped past. Well, we didn't skip past it. We just
forgot.
Yeah, that kind of tweaked my mind. But like I said, yeah, the mom in the Christmas Story was too old to be in. But like I said, everyone else, Ralphie.
It was everyone, yeah.
The bully, he's now a cop.
Yeah.
I forgot what the bully's name was. It'll come to me.
Frank Sarkis.
Sarkis. And it was just a really cool take.
Or Farkas.
Farkas.
Yeah.
Like I said, his dad died, and it's just like the story of him, like basically becoming the man of his entire family now, and more so than just his family.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I was surprised. A tradition for my family every year. So it's Christmas morning. My mom will play fucking Christmas Story all day. I don't like the movie anymore because I've seen it for fucking 10 years every fucking Christmas for like 80 hours. It's ridiculous. But I was really surprised. I had extremely low expectations for it because I wasn't sure. Because I came off just Santa Clauses because this came out before that, and I was like, oh fuck, here's another cash grab in my head. And then I watched. I was like, oh, I mean, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't, but it was
just like a real movie.
Yeah,
like it was like some sad stuff. It was very relatable.
Yeah,
like
they had really good emotional.
He comes home for the holidays and like he's like puffing his chest out, pretending like he's a big time writer, and like we know he's lying, but that's like something like everyone knows that people do when they come home, and then they go to the bar and get drunk, and the real truth comes out and shit when he's shooting the shit with his friends. Like, so that part was cool.
Yeah, it was surprisingly emotional for some parts, like regarding the dad.
Like I said, I think the
dynamics.
emotion was like the relatability. Like they made it like. He was like a normal middle class guy coming back to his middle class family, and that's just what most Americans are. And like to come back and meet his friends are still middle class. They, you know what I mean? They're all just living their lives, doing their thing, and like I said, I really like that part when him and his friends are drinking at the bar, and he wakes up and he's just hungover. And shit. That was fun. Like you said, just a lot of emotion. It tugs at a lot of the heartstrings. His dad's dead. He's taking. I mean, he's becoming a man. His dreams are being crushed because his book's not getting picked up or whatever.
But yeah, no, it kept it simple. I liked it about this movie a lot. Was kept it simple. They didn't like try to overdo anything. They didn't try to make it over serious, over silly, yada yada, whatever. Like what you would see is like a traditional sequel after like 20 something years. Like, all right, let's make it over silly or something like that. And like I said, I really honored the passing, and then. The nostalgia was really good. I think they really did good with the nostalgia. And then just in case you didn't know, like you forgot the characters' names, they did the flashbacks. So that was nice.
That was kind of cool.
And
some
then,
of the older characters, where they kind of flashed who they were in the old ones.
Yeah, and then like they always had like little tidbits, like the triple dog Daria. They threw that in there at the sled thing.
He hit his daughter in the eye with a snowball.
Yeah. They did it right.
Yeah, they paid homage to the original one because, like I said, I think the original one everyone always liked it because it was so relatable. It in a different way, just like it was like a normal family. He wanted a normal present. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Some of these movies, it's like this kid wants the most expensive doll that you can't get. He was just a little 8-year-old boy who wanted a BB gun. Like we were all 8-year-old boys. We all wanted a BB gun. Like, so that's why it resonated with all of us. And I think this one is the same. It's not about the red BB gun, but it's similar. Like it resonates with all of us. It wasn't, like you said, this over emotional, like corny. It was like just a regular family. Like there's probably families who like live this. Like their dad died. You got to go back. The funeral's around Christmas time. You're meeting people. Like it was just extremely relatable. And that part, it made it fun to watch. And it was, like you said, I went in with really low expectations. I thought it was gonna be whack, and I just thought it was a solid movie. Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to HBO Max. They've been fucking kicking ass this year.
That was good. Yeah, like even if it wasn't I think if it wasn't a direct sequel to Christmas Story, I think it would have been all right. Like if it was just about a
Christmas movie.
Yeah, a Christmas movie about a guy going home after his dad died. I think it would have been just
fine.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
I think it had a standard to live up to.
Yeah.
Just because the first one is a classic, like it or not.
It's like the classic.
Yeah, it's a staple in Christmas history. One thing I didn't like, but I did like it in the end. I didn't like Ralphie was a writer. I don't know. It just wasn't like a thing. So it just kind of was a random thing that popped up. It could have just been him, like, oh, he got laid off, or it's been hard to get him a job or something like that. They could have done something like that.
This time,
But I will say it could have worked either way, but I'm kind of thankful for it because in the end they did it, and I said this in the head. I'm like, oh, maybe they will tie it. I don't think they will, because they usually don't with some good ideas. They tied in the narration of like they made the Christmas story that they said the original movie was like a book now that
Ralphie wrote. So the really book that he wrote was based on his life.
Yeah.
Like it was based on his dad, how much his dad made Christmas special for him and stuff. So yeah, the book was like I don't know if it was a direct biography, but it was like based on his gun, like the Red Rifle.
Yeah, so like the Christmas story, and then the sequel made it sound like Ralphie wrote it into a book, and then it was like came full circle, and that's why the narration was there. And it was actually Ralphie narrating this movie, if you notice that.
It was. I didn't. I knew it was a different narrator. I think they said that guy died too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that wasn't. I didn't know. I did not realize it was Ralphie.
Yeah, it was Ralphie himself. So it was really.
Yeah,
cool.
I did like the end when they're reading the obituary,
and then it transfers into it. Yeah,
that was cool.
So I was like, oh, bet. So yeah. Do you have any other points regarding that?
Not really. It was a quick movie. Not much to review. Like I said, it's a Christmas movie. Like I said, they tug at your heartstrings. Strings. But I would recommend seeing it. I thought it was a quality movie.
Yeah.
If I were to give it a rating, I'd say a 6. Like I said, nothing crazy, but I do think it's better than average, and it was much better than I expected.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I was gonna go for 5.5. Yeah. Like I said, it was okay, but like what it's trying to fucking match against is like literally impossible. Yeah. So for a sequel 30 years later, and as a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I think it ticked all those boxes.
Yeah, it did it. I was really surprised.
Didn't ruin the original.
Yeah,
like,
it
paid
didn't
homage
drag
to
it out.
it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overly corny.
Next we have on here is a movie that came out this year, actually a couple weeks ago. It's called Violent Night. I guess.
I thought we were both doing it. I don't know. I thought I forgot or something.
Yeah. Violent Night. It came out starring David Harbour. I was really pushing to see this. It looks like a fun movie. I'll kind of take the lead for this one because I was the one more hyped for it than you, I would say. I liked it a lot. I liked it somewhat. It knew what it was. I will give that. That's my biggest pro to this movie. It didn't do like they're not going to do like they didn't overplot it, if that makes sense. Like they weren't trying to make a super serious plot. They're like, all right, this is Santa killing fuckers in a mansion on Christmas Eve. Like it did it what it was. And their casting for the comedy was really good. It was the girl. I didn't write her name down, but it was from Righteous Gemstones, the sister.
Yeah.
That she was in that. Either. But yeah. Some other cast too. It was pretty minor BC listers, except the Mexican guy. He's been in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, he
always plays like a villain or some anti-hero.
Oh, John Leguizamo.
Yeah. So yeah, that was cool to see him in there. He worked well. I like David Harbour a lot in this. It was fun. It gave me Bad Santa vibes. And then
Tom's young. Like I said, Tom is young. It is literally Die Hard. I don't know how anyone could not miss that. It's a guy in a house. There's a vault. There's literally a walkie-talkie. He pulls out a Die Hard 2 DVD at one point.
He does?
Yeah, out of his bag. He's I forgot. Like
I didn't even notice.
It's literally like the plot of one of the Die Hards. Like there's a vault in the house. There's somebody trying to get it.
Okay.
And there's one guy killing mercenaries one by one, like while somebody talks to him who's hiding on a walkie-talkie.
It's still funny. It's still good.
Yeah, it was like, I guess it was. There's always, like I said, in my life, like I'm older than Tom, so
yeah, by a lot.
Old enough to be his dad.
Grandfather.
But I won't talk badly about his mom.
You're an idiot.
But it was just like Die Hard. There's always been a running joke that Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve. But it was like literally, it was basically Die Hard with Santa Claus instead of a cop. There was a few like Home Alone.
Yeah. They called it out. They said it was the attic scene was like huge Home Alone.
Yeah, it was like Home Alone scenes. So that part, Tom, I agree with Tom, where it's like they knew what they were doing it. A good example of me, I would say it's kind of like Bullet Train, where like it's just like room to room, different close action fight scenes. Using the environment to his it was kind of like that, where like, but it's it's realistically it's just Die Hard with the Santa suit and like with Santa instead of a cop. What I didn't like about it is like they're so wishy-washy on like he's like, okay, he's Santa, he's magic. He's like, oh, I'm lived over 1,000 years, but at one point he's like sewing, he's bleeding, and he's like sewing. I'm like, you're immortal, but you also bleed, and you need to stitch yourself up. I'm confused. Like, that part was really weird, where like they're going back and forth in between like Is he some kind of like? Is he a weird like magical being, or is he like a man?
I think he's a man, but he has magical powers.
Yeah.
He has Christmas powers, like I said, Christmas magic, like you said.
Yeah, he kept saying that, but like that's my point. It's like it's just vague. Like, why can't?
What is happening?
I don't know. Like why? Like I said, the stitching of his side up part, like fuck with me. It's like
maybe the
you're
Christmas
immortal. You
magic
live for 1,000 years, like, but you get a little cut on your side. You got to stitch it up, or you're gonna die. Like I'm confused.
One complaint I did have with the movie, not that one, was I wish I had more violence. I don't know. I felt like the violence they had plenty of violence, but I was like they called it Violent Night, so I came in expecting like hella gore. Maybe the movie was a little too dark, or maybe the lights were a little too bright, but I was expecting to see like hella gore. Like every fight scene was gonna be a lot of gore, blood, like a lot more blood. I don't know. Like not to Quentin Tarantino's stature, but something along the lines of that. Like we'll go with Quentin Tarantino. When you see Kill Bill or Django Unchained, something like that. Yeah, like some good
I
quality
guess I agree
blood.
with you there. I kind of thought it was going to be gorier than it was.
Yeah,
I mean, he does fuck people up, but like you said, it's not very like
bloody, massacre.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like he fucks them up, breaks their neck, shoots them in the head, stabs
like
them.
there were some ones. I say final scene when he's in the barn. That's probably the most gruesome. There was a lot of blood there, but even that was dark, so you kind of could see it. I wish we saw more of that, more blood. Because I really wanted to come, because I knew when I walked in this movie, I'm like, this movie's gonna be fucked up. Like I was like, I am gonna see blood and gore and Santa and some funny scenes, and like and it was. It delivered on that part, but I wish there was just a little bit more gore, and I would have been fine. A little more action scenes. I think what I also disliked was what was it? The David Harbour Santa's was questioning himself at sometimes a little too much. I'm like, oh, question yourself once or twice, and then just be like, you're Santa, bitch, and then go on.
Yeah, like some flashbacks too, where like he
was a Viking.
Yeah, it was like weird. I don't know. That was like I said. That was the things that were like upsetting me because I'm like, I get caught up in like lore, and I'm like, was he a Viking? I'm
my god!
And like I said, literally the first thing I thought was after the movie was over was like, why was he stitching himself up? Like, like he literally at one point like teleports. Like, like why did he fucking stitch himself up? Or like why did he just teleport the whole time? Yeah. Like I'm confused.
But yeah, no, I liked it for the most part. The blood, the gruesomeness, I wish it was turned up more. Just because the way they advertised it was like Violent Night, and I'm gonna keep saying that it needed to be more violence. And regarding the flashback,
I guess there was a lot of violence. So like he's saying there wasn't
more gruesome violence. Yeah, I should say.
I mean, he fucked some shit up.
But yeah, that was my only letdown for it. But out of all of these, I mean, actually, do you have any more points before I say anything?
No, not really. I'll just say, like I said, it's Die Hard in a Santa suit.
Yeah. But out of all I'll give my rating first, and then I'll say out of all three. I would probably give this one. I'll go 5.7.
No, I would say something. Yeah, I can give it like a 5. It was okay. Like I said, it was what it was.
Yeah, they knew what it was.
I definitely wouldn't watch it again. No. But I didn't find myself at any point like really bored in the movie or anything like that.
They didn't waste time. Like I said, they didn't try to overplot it.
They didn't like drag anything along. It's just like boom, boom, right to the movie.
They knew what it was.
Like an hour and a half, 2
Yeah,
hours,
they're like, hey, we know what we're making. We're gonna give that to you. It was very surface level, so they didn't waste time with that. I was really happy about that. I'll ask you, Sean, though. Out of these three, which one did you like the most between Santa Clauses, A Christmas Story Christmas, and Violent Night?
Well, ratings wise, I said the Christmas Story was better, but I'd probably say like.
What would you recommend to someone the most then to watch first?
Just anybody, probably A Christmas Story. Just like I don't think a girl would like Violent Night.
Yeah.
But like somebody like a friend of mine, I'd probably say the one I thought like the one I liked the best. I'd probably say Violent Night.
Yeah.
I was the most entertained. But like I said, I can appreciate. That's what I'm saying. Like what entertains me and what I think is good is not the same.
Yeah.
And so I'll say it like that. I do think The Christmas Story like was a much better movie.
Oh yeah.
But I prefer movies about people getting killed over, you know what I mean, some fucking pussy coming back to his hometown. Yeah. So like
yeah, I would say Violent Night for me. I would just recommend that one. That was my favorite out of all three of these. But yeah, Christmas Story was surprised. It took me by surprise. Santa Claus actually fucking lowered my expectations.
It was kind of whack.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So now we're in the portion of this video where we are gonna give our top 5 Christmas movies. We're going to go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. But before we do that, leave a like and subscribe right now if you made it this far. And comment down below what your top 5 is going to be. And if you agree or disagree with
what new Christmas movie we missed.
And what new Christmas movie we missed.
Christmas movies we did not see. Oh, we watched Spirited. We already did a video on that.
Yeah, we did.
Not Spirited.
That's why we were inspired to do this episode, because that was such a short episode. So we're like, let's just put all these together.
Yeah, put them all together.
Because we knew it wasn't going to be that much.
Galaxy, I guess, but.
Yeah, but even then, that's a good clickbaity thing. Everyone likes Guardians.
I'd probably say Spirited was better than all. I forgot what I gave Spirited.
I don't remember. That was decent. Anyways, so do you want to go first or me?
I'll go first.
Just grab your list, dude.
I was going to say
Just grab your little Post-it. It's cute.
Where are we going, 5?
Number 5. Who starts at 1 for a top 5 list, psycho?
Number 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Polar Express for me. It's classic. I don't. Again, I'm older now. A lot of these Christmas movies are all pretty boring to me because I've seen them all 100 times. But I think that one is one that like I enjoy watching with my daughter, and one that like when my next kid's born, I'm like, oh, you should watch this. I do think it like embodies the Christmas story and spirit more so than a lot of the movies.
Yeah. I did not put that on my list at all, actually, just because I watched it so many times. We had a Polar Express night, so it just got burnt out for me. At number 5, actually, unlike its shitty Disney Plus series, The Santa Claus, the first one, it was hard to debate for the first or second one, but I watched the first one more recently. I would say that I just really enjoy it. Tim Allen was having a lot of fun in it. It was just a quality. Like, I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I'm never not entertained when I watch it. So number 4 for you.
I had Gremlins.
What the fuck?
It's on Christmas.
That's a Christmas movie?
Eve. It's like Die Hard. It happens on Christmas Eve.
Shit, here we go again.
But there's a gremlin with a Santa hat on.
I didn't know. I never thought Gremlins was a fucking Christmas movie.
Well, now you know.
Okay, great. So I guess Gremlins is number 4. Comment down below if he's right or wrong, guys.
I'm right.
There we go.
On Christmas Eve.
Yeah, if you're famous.
And their gifts to people. And their magic. Christmas.
You're an idiot. Bruce Willis wasn't magic in Christmas, so is it a Christmas movie? Have you ever seen
he killed 30 guys all by himself?
It's not magic. It's skill.
That's magic.
That's not magic. Do you see a spirit? Do you see some spirit whispers? I don't know.
Maybe.
Number 4 for me was Bad Santa. I like Billy Bob. I've watched that movie a lot. It's really funny.
That movie is like Gremlins, where it literally they're just robbing a place on Christmas.
But it's Bad Santa. Santa's in the name. Like, it's in the name.
So, like, I'm just
and
saying,
it was Christmas themed. He literally was Santa. Like, what are we talking about? It was like, oh, it's kind of, no, this was a straight Christmas movie. Don't.
No, it was a robbery. It was a heist movie based around Christmas time.
Because he played Santa.
To heist things.
And there's elves and shit. Where's your elves?
Where's
your elves?
They're gremlins. They're all elves.
No, that's racist. Yeah, Bad Santa. I really like that movie a lot. It's funny. Early 2000s, whatever that era was. Billy Bob Thornton was just running it with his comedies.
He's good in that one. All right.
Number 3.
Number 3 for me, I had Elf.
Elf? Okay.
I'm sure Tom has this even higher. He's a little Will Ferrell nerd, but
piss off.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people. Elf is a class, and it like never. That's one of the Christmas movies that never gets old. Will Ferrell killed that role, and all the roles he did. I don't know if one will ever be remembered as much as Buddy.
Maybe Step Brothers, even that.
I mean, like, no, I don't think he'll ever be remembered more than, but like.
No, I agree. I agree.
Like he can't dress up like the guy from he is that guy.
He is.
And like I said, he's a comedy legend, but I think that was his the role that
his iconic.
Yeah, role. Iconic. He'll never be forgotten. And like I said, Elf's just a hilarious story.
Yeah. For my number 3, I put 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn and.
That's a good one. I think I had that. Mine that was like honorable
Reese Witherspoon. Yeah,
I had that and Ernest Saves Christmas were the 2 that did not make it.
Wow,
he's too old.
I don't know Ernest.
About Ernest, but yes, 4 Christmas is hilarious.
I like that. I just love Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn's fun.
It's
John
so
Favreau's
in
that.
Favreau, yeah.
His brothers are all like kicking his ass.
Yeah, they're like MMA guys.
Yeah,
it was so weird because like John Favreau was like an MMA kick for so long. Yeah. So like half his like roles like.
I think it's because he looks like that, so like he's smart to like, oh, I'm gonna play a guy like that.
Yeah, it was just so funny. Like in Friends, he was like MMA.
Yeah, I love that fucking movie when his like they go home, his brothers are just kicking his ass.
Kicking his ass. He's like, "Why set boundaries?" And then he's like, they attack him again and shit like that. Like that's just a great movie, and I think it is realistic too. It's like there are couples out there who just don't want to spend time. Who prefer to go on vacation.
Their family's just like that. Like you go home. Like my family isn't that per se, but like we go home. Like if all me and my brothers are all in the same place for a whole day, yes, a fight's breaking out. Somebody's getting into a fight.
Number 2. Go.
Number 2 for me, I had Grinch. I had the animated version / the real version.
What the
fuck? I think they're both good.
You talking the newer animated,
the
or like
newer
the
animated one,
and
the
Jim Carrey.
The Jim Carrey one. I think they're both quite iconic. If I had to pick one I like more, I'd probably say the real life one with Jim Carrey.
Good choice.
But I do think this new anime one is very good.
It was decent.
Yeah, but I just would put them both in there. But yeah, Grinch is a staple.
Yeah,
the comedy holds up. That's another role where like Jim Carrey's played a million
I read so much about that movie,
and he nails that one. He'll never be forgotten. Yeah, I read some. I was reading.
It took 18 hours to put on the makeup, but then he like went to like a Navy SEALs PTSD.
Yeah, I don't know where we must have saw the same thing, but yeah, he said he had to like. He had to go to the Navy SEALs for like torture training, like how to survive torture, because that's basically what getting the makeup on and wearing it all day was torture.
Yeah, poor guy, but he's still a goat. Number 2 for me was Elf. Same reason. It was just it is a Christmas classic.
Yeah.
Just a really fun time, and like I said, I've seen that movie a million times. And like you've heard me before, I got burnt out with Christmas Story, burnt out with Polar Express. I've never been burnt out with Elf.
I haven't either. I've seen Elf a million times. Like I said, it's just him just being goofy.
Yeah,
so
just a fun. Yeah, it's funny. It's just pure comedy.
Yeah, and like it's just like I don't know if anyone's ever played a character as well as he played Buddy, where like he really felt like he was like this excited elf.
Yeah,
that scene where like. He's at the mall and he thinks Santa Claus is there and he like fucking screams so Santa. Like, I don't know how he did that. Like, that is just like acting genius.
And it wasn't one take either. You know who was that guy standing next to him?
I forgot.
But like
Face on Love, the black guy, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Face on Love?
You know his ass like broke it 4 times when he did that shit. Like I know for a fact. Then Will Ferrell had to keep doing it. So. But I think the reason why he like that energy was because I think he really loved that movie. He was excited to do it because. I know you probably heard of this, like when he was like running around New York, like that movie was so like low budget that like it was him and Jon Favreau with a camera guy, and he was legit just running around New York fucking with people.
Wow.
Like he actually, I don't know, this was a part he was actually eating the gum and shit, like that was all real. Like when he's in the streets like exploring as Buddy, they have a budget to. Have a big enough budget to shut down like sections.
So he just ran out there.
So like him in full costume, fucking with people.
Yeah, that movie is like I said, a masterpiece. Like I said, he really kills it as an elf. Like the plot's kind of bare bones, but he just like plays the character like as a what you would envision a human elf who got put in real life. Like
the plot's basic, but we were there for the characters more. So that's what really carried the movie was the characters. So you can say what's your number one?
For me is Home Alone.
That's a good choice.
I think, especially for like I said, somebody my age, that's like the classic Christmas movie. One of my favorites, and like I said, it's just iconic. It's kind of hard. I couldn't think. I was trying to. I wanted to put Grinch above it, but like I said, this is just like iconic. I can't think of a better word for Home Alone. Where like it's a good plot. Macaulay Culkin kills
sequel is good too.
Yeah, the sequel. I like both the sequels. I like the one in New York. I like the one with the new kid when it's like the Home Alone 3 or something. Yeah, I like that one.
I thought it was trash.
I like that one. I'm not a hater.
I did want to put Home Alone on here. It was hard. Like I did not. Obviously, it's great. It was just hard. I don't know how to rank it.
Well, to be fair, Tom's harping me for putting Gremlins on my list. He doesn't even have Home Alone on his list.
Okay, so I mean, still, fucking who puts Gremlins? Anyways. But yeah, my number 1, I put Jim Carrey's The Grinch. I disagree with Sean. I don't think the fucking Jim Carrey's Grinch and the new animated one's on the same level. Different fucking levels. Like I disagree with that completely.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, wouldn't say they're the same level. I just didn't want to put the animated one at 5 and then Jim Carrey's at 2.
So
I do think, like I said, I do like Jim Carrey's better, and I do think it's better, but I just think they're both like.
So do you also rank the anime one at 2 then, or are you just mentioning it? Is it?
Yeah, I would still say it's better than all those other ones.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
But if it was on the list, it'd be 3. If I was gonna give it 2 spots, if I was gonna give Grinch 2 spots, the animated version would be 3 and the Grinch would be 2. But I didn't want to put 2 spots, like say Grinch twice. So.
I get that. Yeah.
But I do think they're both quality movies. That's a really good animated movie. But like I said, Jim Carrey's role as the Grinch is
5:30 self-loathing. 6 o'clock. I love that.
My favorite part is he's like, I'm an idiot. He's like, you're an idiot.
Oh
that's not like that shit. Like
that's so good. Like it's
I
so
just burst
funny.
out laughing when I hear that.
Yeah, like I said, that movie is just so good. I don't know. That's a movie again similar to Elf. Was like I've watched it a million times. I still don't get burned out. I think it's just a great movie. Jim Carrey actually killed it, carried the fucking movie. It was his movie, but and the way they decorated all like the Who area, like it was cool to see that live action.
Yeah, it was cool. That was a movie that they like really brought to life.
Yeah.
Like from the old animated movie, cartoon everybody loved.
They brought
it's like
Dr.
shot for shot the same as that, except for like the Jim Carrey's like take on Grinch.
Yeah, it was like that was an hour and a half. The original one's like 30 minutes. Their special Christmas special is like 30 minutes. But yeah, I do agree with that. Alrighty, guys, that is this episode. Please comment down below what your top 5 is and what you agree, disagree through our ratings throughout these few movies and shows we discussed for the Christmas season. Sean, you got anything to say?
No, that's it.
All right, make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Links are on the screen and down below. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is our Christmas special episode. I should have said in the beginning, but we're saying at the end. So you guys have a good Christmas, happy holidays, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next episode. Happy holidays. Hope Sean gets Colin hit by a fucking bus.